Isn't this how it always happens? The email lands in your inbox at 11:47 p.m. on a Tuesday night. Another friend who's a project manager, or a product manager in this case was a product manager, is venting about impossible expectations, shifting goalposts, the nagging feeling that the job they signed up for no longer exists. I feel like I'm just playing a game where someone keeps changing the rules mid squad, mid flow. They wrote, you know, they're not alone. Product management is experiencing one of its most dramatic transformations since the role was first codified in the tech industry. You're starting to see these huge changes, and product management once felt like a clear set of responsibilities. It's morphed into something that feels a little bit upside down sometimes, and I think there's something that many people have referred to called the Great Inversion. So there are five fundamental shifts that are redefining what it means to be a real product manager in 2025. And these aren't minor adjustments or trend driven pivots. These represent a complete inversion of core PM practices that have guided the profession for more than a decade, probably. All right, let's go. Let's go at number one. So the accountability paradox, and I'll explain from inputs to outputs. Probably the most jarring shift, and absolutely the most personal. We're being held accountable for business outcomes that we can only partially influence. Gone are the days when shipping features on time and tracking user engagement was enough. Today's PM is expected to own revenue growth, customer retention, and market share metrics as their primary OKRs. The logic seems sound on paper. After all, shouldn't product people be responsible for the product success? But here's the uncomfortable truth. Product managers rarely have direct control over sales execution, marketing effectiveness, or customer success operations. PMs influence outcomes, but we don't inherently own them, or at least don't own them entirely. It's like being judged on a team sport while only controlling one position on the field. This shift reflects a broader organizational trend towards outcome-based accountability. Companies want clarity on who owns what, and product managers sitting at the intersection of technology and business have become the natural target for business-level responsibility. The challenge isn't accountability itself, it's the mismatch between responsibility and authority. Smart product managers are learning to negotiate for the resources and influence necessary to actually impact the metrics that they're being asked to measure against. That's a big one. All right, let's go to number two. From planning to building, the prototype revolution. AI-powered prototyping tools have fundamentally altered how we explore solutions in general, period. Where we once spent weeks writing detailed specifications and creating wireframes, we can now build functional prototypes in just hours. This shift is more profound than it appears. When the cost of creating something tangible approaches zero, the entire product development conversation changes. Instead of debating theoretical solutions in endless meetings, we're building multiple versions and testing them directly with users. The best way to understand a problem is to build something that attempts to solve it. At least, that's my opinion. This represents a philosophical shift from analysis to experimentation, from planning to doing. The tools enabling this transformation from getting from point A to point B, let's put it this way. I want to change it up. Product managers no longer need to wait for an engineering person to explore ideas. They're able to prototype, iterate, and validate concepts. They can go through ideation and discovery, and those are the pieces that have been missing all along. I think that it's important to do these things and validate concepts even before any kind of proper requirements documents ever created, right? Just food for thought. All right, let's go to number three. I'm going to call it the measurement evolution. From trees to AI evaluation systems. Traditional metric frameworks served us well in simpler times. North Star metrics, guardrail measurements, carefully constructed analytics dashboards. Those all provided clear signals about the product's health. But AI-powered product insights demand more sophisticated evaluation approaches. How do you measure the quality of an AI-generated response? How do you know if your recommendation algorithm is becoming biased or unwieldy? How do you track the long-term impact of personalization on user behavior? Enter AI evaluation systems. These frameworks combine traditional metrics with model-specific assessments, accuracy scores, bias detection, response relevance ratings, and user satisfaction with AI interaction. This requires PMs to think like data scientists, defining evaluation criteria that captures both immediate performance and longer-term product health. It's no longer enough to count clicks or conversions. We need to measure intelligence, helpfulness, and algorithm fairness. That's cool. All right, let's go to number 4. Number 4 is the AI integration imperative from knowledge to implementation. 2 years ago, being AI aware was sufficient. Product managers were expected to understand AI's capabilities and identify potential applications. Today, that baseline knowledge is table stakes. Now, we're expected to integrate AI into every core product experience while simultaneously using AI to enhance our own productivity. It's a dual transformation. AI as a product feature and AI as a work tool. This shift demands both strategic vision and tactical execution. We need to understand how large language models work and how to design effective prompts, how to manage AI product risks, how to measure AI product success, all while using these same technologies to accelerate our own research, analysis, and communication. This learning curve is steep, but the payoff is significant. PMs who master this transition will have a fundamental advantage in product strategy and execution. It's just the way it is. I'll say it again. AI is not coming to take your job, but the person who understands AI better than you do is coming for your job. So be aware it's going to happen. All right, let's go to number 5. Number 5 says the research responsibility from collaboration to ownership. Now, this is a big one. So this one I want to make sure we pay attention. Perhaps the most controversial shift involves user research. Traditional product teams relied heavily on dedicated UX researchers to conduct studies, gather insights, and validate assumptions. Budget constraints and speed requirements are pushing this responsibility directly onto product managers. We're expected to design studies, conduct interviews, analyze findings, and derive actionable insights, all while maintaining our other responsibilities. This isn't necessarily a negative development. Direct user contact often produces a deeper product intuition and faster iteration cycles, but it does require a new skill and significant time investment. The most successful PMs are adopting continuous discovery practices, building research into their weekly routines rather than treating it as a separate project phase. Now, if you think these shifts feel overwhelming, they may, because they're happening simultaneously across multiple dimensions. It's like learning to play 5 different instruments while performing in an orchestra. But here's the reality. Adaptation has always been a core PM competency. The best product managers throughout history have been the ones who could evolve with changing market conditions, new technologies, shifting organizational needs. The current transformation is more dramatic than the previous ones, but the fundamental skill remains the same: the ability to learn, adapt, and find new ways to create value for customers and the business. So what does it mean for you as a product manager? Well, there's some practical considerations. First, learn to prioritize ruthlessly. You cannot master all 5 transitions simultaneously, so focus on the changes that are most relevant to the current product and industry context. Second, invest in continuous learning. The half-life of PM knowledge is shrinking rapidly. Dedicate time weekly to understand new tools, frameworks, and approaches. Learn AI. There, I said it. Third, build bridges with other functions. As PM responsibilities expand, collaboration becomes even more critical. Strengthen relationships with engineering, design, sales, customer success teams. All those people are accountability for your success metrics, because that's what it boils down to. So now, the admission. The product manager role is evolving faster than ever before. People who can navigate the transformation thoughtfully will find themselves uniquely positioned to drive meaningful product impact in an AI-powered world. But perhaps more importantly, they'll rediscover what drew them to product management in the first place: the real opportunity to solve meaningful problems for real people. Even when the rules of the game keep changing, you can still push through and get things done. That's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, learn more at AgileDad.com. We'd love to hear from you. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.